Alright guys, welcome back to another Strivemont video. Today we're going to be talking about, actually before we get into that, look at that disgusting close that we had before market close. I want to get it off my screen already, but we got to address it. And before we do that, if you guys could drop a like and a sub, it does help out the channel. So let's get started. So I want to talk about the current shift that we're seeing in the market. So for those of you who don't know, a lot of the big name stocks weren't doing too hot today. However, a lot of stocks that I'm really into, right? A lot of the hot stock names were thriving today. So before we get into those stocks, let's talk about the overall market. And one thing I do want to note on the SPY 4-hour chart is that we are testing a current support around 411. If we do break below that, we could be testing this bottom over here for a potential double bottom around 402. If we do break down, it'd be even worse. That being said, let's look at the heat map. We're going to do this by clicking on the Market Watch tab. This is on TD Ameritrade, by the way. Go to indices, and as you guys can see, we can narrow it down to, let's say, the Dow Jones. In this case, we'll be doing the S&P 500. Looking at Microsoft down 0.86%, Apple down 1.12%, Google down 0.77%, Amazon down 1.72%. Look at the financials, look at the industrials, look at the energy sectors. A lot of these sectors are just overall red. That being said, one thing I also want to take note of is the current dollar. So looking at the DXY, we've been at a downtrend. Last week, we were trying to break over this trend. However, we did get rejected, and we've been making lower lows since. And now we're testing the support over here around 89.704. And if we do break below this, it could be really bad for the dollar. However, a lot of the stocks that I'm invested in right now will do really well if it does break below this. That being said, a reason for this drop over here is because the U.S. Treasury yield stalled as market participants grow increasingly confident that the Federal Reserve will hold off on hiking interest rates. So it seems like a lot of investors are now starting to gain that confidence that even though we are seeing a lot of inflation, the Fed isn't going to increase the rates. That's why we're seeing the dollar go downwards. So that being said, let's talk about a couple of the stocks that did really well today. So going on a 1-minute chart, let's take a look at first Plug. Plug had an 8.34% day, absolutely amazing rally, held up really strong at the end. Another stock we're going to be looking at, Nile. Nile also did pretty alright today, 1.12%. XPEV comes with it as well, doing a 4.60% on the day. Really good for XPEV. Another stock we're going to be talking about, let's look at Palantir. 3.81% on the day, really well as well. Another stock we could look at, NNDM, 2.85% on the day. So the overall direction is a lot of these stocks, I would group them up, right? Because they all kind of move together. They have their moments together. They're doing really well. But stocks, for example, like Facebook, down. Apple, down. Microsoft, down. I would consider these stocks the more safer big tech plays. Now it seems like a lot of money is starting to outflow out of these safe plays into more riskier plays because now people are less worried about the interest rate being spiked or going up, right? That's why we're seeing a lot of money come out of these stocks. And for example, seeing Cathie Wood sell out all of her Apple stock almost just to invest in more companies that are like, for example, like Palantir, just shows a lot. That being said, the number one stock, or the stock pick for today, for me at least, is going to be QuantumScape, which had an absolutely killer day at 10.44% on the upside. And I believe we're going to be seeing a lot more. And one thing that I do want to note on the news that came out yesterday over here, QuantumScape and Volkswagen are selecting where to make solid state cells. This is getting serious. This is getting big. I think this is a great time to invest in QuantumScape and hold long-term shares. And I really think QuantumScape is going to benefit overall long-term. That being said, I do want to conclude this video by saying if you did find any value in it, to drop a like and a sub. And check out the new TikTok. Check out the new Instagram. All linked below if you are interested. We're trying to grow as much as possible. Alright guys.